slides, please feel free to just stop me and we can address your questions and queries as we move forward. Today I'll broadly cover the kind of fundraising which MSMEs can do, the nature of fundraising and the importance of legal due diligence and other kinds of due diligence in the process of fundraising. So I'll skip the initial parts in terms of the thresholds for micro, small and medium, in terms of threshold for investment and turnover and the revised threshold specified in the budget, because that's all we've covered. We straight away go into the kinds of fundraising, the kinds of investments and liquidity possibilities which MSMEs have, which is not broadly different from early stage companies and early stage startup or investment vehicles which we look for. The first and obviously which is not the foremost one is bootstrapping. People try to raise funds through their internal accruals or from friends and family. That's not a preferred route for funding, but that's always the first booking point, because as my earlier sessions were explaining, it's not that easy to get external funding. So obviously the first route available to any MSME or early stage company is internal accruals and funds available either with oneself or through friends and family. The next route, which is often the first route which is rolled out for any early stage company, is angel investors. Why we look at angel investors is twofold. One, of course, the capital and the initial seed funds that come in from these angel investors. That's of course the most important part. But the second instance is that they provide us with the networking opportunity, the platform to connect, and also the mentorship that these angel investors bring on board. That is most important for any early stage startup, because it's very difficult for someone today starting a business to straight away have access and network into say larger investment funds or even mentors who have experience in running a similar kind of business, be it also the supply chain. It's very difficult to have those connects straight away, because as an entrepreneur our first focus would be on running the business. It's on your product, on your service, or if it's a manufacturing facility, then on those facility setup. It's not per se on how to raise funds, how to connect with people in the similar sector. So for those learning instances, it's very important to have a good angel investor who will serve more as a mentor to the company, rather than looking purely at higher returns, etc. right away. So rather than a venture capital or a private equity, angel investor may be a more preferred route for early stage companies. The next option, of course, is venture capital. When we are looking at fundraising, that we should ask ourselves before even going for anything legal or financial is the nature of investment, the nature of instrument you want to issue to the venture capital or the private equity here. Because some important questions come up here. If you're, let's say, if you are not comfortable, giving up equity or ownership in your company, then you cannot technically, be comfortable issuing equity stake or convertible instruments which can convert into equity subsequently. But on the other hand, a pure debt instrument is like a loan. So if you issue debentures or redeemable preference shares, which do not convert into equity, technically in your balance sheet it's a debt instrument. So it's almost akin to a loan, maybe at a lower interest rate, but it's still a loan. So your balance sheet does not look that great if you raise capital in the form of say debt instruments, because it's almost akin to a loan, barring maybe some stringent requirements which banks have, maybe the venture capitalist or a debt fund may not have. But having said that, it's very important to understand, in our business, the business that we are looking to raise funds for, what is the exact requirement? Today, are we in a position to service a debt? Or is it, just because we are not willing to maybe see some amount of ownership, we don't want to give some part of equity stake to a venture capitalist or a private equity